What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, coming back at you with another video, and today we have a similar video to one that I uploaded a little bit earlier today in Draft Gems, but this one is a little bit different. This one is steals of the draft, so not necessarily a huge focus on the late round guys, but some will be included because that's the nature of the game based on where I value these guys on my top 100 big board, or just in general versus where they actually ended up, because some of these guys, I mean, took a landslide. They fell so far in the draft, and teams jumped at the opportunity once they finally did fall to them. So I guess they didn't jump at the opportunity, but they said, all right, we'll take them. And so they did. So a lot of teams got steals. Some teams traded back up in order to get these players when they realized they were still on the board at a certain point. If you guys are new here, you love football, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We've been gaining over 1,000 subscribers a day for the past week. So definitely hop on the train while you can. We're pushing towards 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much. And as always, couldn't include everyone on this list, so let me know who I missed. I probably missed some great players. So stand up on the table. Let me know why I missed your guy and who I missed. So tell me who and why. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to the first name on this list. And again, in no particular order. So starting off with a team that I think had a really awful draft in general, the Philadelphia Eagles, but they drafted a stud here in the 6th round at the very end of the 6th. Prince Teo Winogo out of Auburn. Really good prospect, and this is someone that only has the opportunity to improve. He's a fantastic athlete that's in theory still learning the position. I mean, this guy was a basketball player before switching over to football after coming over from Africa. I mean, this is someone that is still a little bit raw technique wise, but has all the athletic traits in the world that you'd want of a franchise caliber left tackle. And the Eagles, who have a little bit of question marks at the tackle position with Lane Johnson, who stud right tackle, but has dealt with some injuries, and Andre Dillard, who's a first-round pick last year, and Jason Peters, who is probably no longer returning. But they needed to upgrade tackle for the future, and this is someone that is in the perfect spot because the Philadelphia Eagles have done a great job developing offensive linemen over the past decade, and Teo Winogo is going to be able to be developed, much to the dislike of me as a Giants fan. But there's a ton of potential here for the Eagles to have an absolute stud in the next 2 or 3 years, and a starting left tackle. Yeah, Jason Peters, of course, is a free agent. If I didn't make that clear, it is 6:44 in the morning as I record this, and guess who hasn't slept? Classic Bengal, honestly. Classic me. The Jets got a really solid player here in the 5th round. Bryce Hall only really fell due to injury concerns, which led to a down year at Virginia, but injuries are, or at least were, a big concern of his. Durability is a problem, but the Jets invested only a 5th round pick in him, and this is someone that could easily become a starter in the NFL. And the Jets, again, you talk about a lot of teams who really needed upgrades at these specific positions. Cornerback was a huge problem for them. They've invested so much money in the past couple of years trying to bring in cornerbacks who can make a difference. Look at Tremaine Johnson, who was a complete bust for them. They paid him, I think, $14-ish million a year to be bad. That is not something you want. Really, their best corner was Brian Poole, who is Brian Poole. So for the 5th round, getting Bryce Hall was tremendous value. From a pure talent perspective, this is certainly a top 100 player in the draft, but injuries really did hold him back, and they may continue to hold him back. But the Jets definitely took a worthwhile gamble here in the 5th. Definitely a steal of the draft for me. Not someone I could leave off the list. I don't know if you guys watched my Twitch live streams. I was live during the entire draft, but we were watching it when Alberto Cwiebe Nam was picked, or Albert O, as a lot of people are going to call him. And Trey Wingo from ESPN butchered his name twice brutally. That clip is on Twitter if you want to check that out. Twitter.com/Bengals, or Bengal Designs. That's what the hell. All the links are in the description. Definitely make sure to check those out. But he called him the first time like Okwabunum or something, or like Akuwebunum or something like that. And then he fired back calling him Akunyabuyo. Which is, what? Are you even reading the letters? I mean, I know that's a really difficult name to pronounce. There are weird letters all over the place. But Albert Cwiebe Nam is how you pronounce it. I don't know how you get a Kuyabuyo out of that one. That's confusing to me a little bit. But Alberto Cwiebe Nam is, in my opinion, a fantastic prospect. He was so good 2 years ago at Mizzou, his junior season with Drew Lock. And guess where he's going? In the 4th round to the Denver Broncos to team back up with Drew Lock. Wasn't so great last year, but also had Kelly Bryant as his quarterback, who is a bad player. That's what that comes down to. Alberto is a fantastic red zone threat. Blocks fairly well. He's a big body, 6'5", 260. I mean, that is ideal tight end size. He also ran crazy fast at the combine, under 4.5. Doesn't quite play that fast, but I think this is someone who can develop and, learn more how to utilize that speed. He's not exactly a terrible route runner. This is just someone that can make a huge impact as a second tight end in the red zone right off the bat. This is someone that can play and be extremely productive as a second tight end. He's not going to start over Noah Fant this year or next year, but I mean, Alberto Cwiebe Nam coming back and playing with Drew Lock, there's a lot of fun potential here. That's a fun storyline. This is a fun player. I love Alberto. I loved him 2 years ago. Wasn't as productive or as talented last year, but this could be a very, very good player. Love him. Had to be on the Steals video. I think a lot of you guys probably saw that one coming if you've been on the channel for a while. Been talking this guy up for a while now. Love Alberto. I cannot believe this guy fell to the Cowboys at almost the 5th round. This was a compensatory selection at the very, very, very end of the 4th. Tyler Biadasz out of Wisconsin. I mean, one of the best centers in the draft, and was considered to be maybe the best center in the draft going into his redshirt junior season at Wisconsin. But, some other prospects kind of rose a little bit above him. Cesar Ruiz, Matt Hennessy at Temple, Lloyd Cushenberry at LSU. But Biadasz is a solid player, and the Cowboys needed a center. And I don't know how they were able to get him at basically a 5th round pick. I mean, Travis Frederick retired. They have nobody at center, and now they can plug a late 4th round pick in to be a starting center. And now I'm not sure that that's going to happen. I'm not sure he's going to start immediately. I think they went out and signed Connor McGovern, but I mean, Biadasz has starting center potential written all over him. Cowboys got a very, very good pick here at this range for sure. I realized I may have misspoke and said signed. There are 2 different Connor McGoverns who play offensive line in the NFL. One was on the Broncos and that was on the Jets, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. The other one was drafted by the Cowboys last year. So he's on the Cowboys. He's young. Can play that center role potentially. Hopefully I didn't misspeak again. It is 6:50 in the morning now, and my brain barely works. What a great pick here by the Saints in the 3rd round. This is someone that probably could have snuck into the 1st. And here Zach Bowen was all the way in the 3rd. And this is someone who's a pretty good athlete. Can play off the ball. Can fire off the edge. Zach Bowen is a really, really good outside linebacker prospect, and I think a great pickup for the Saints. They can utilize him in a number of different ways, and at the end of the day, they probably found themselves a starter here in the 3rd, and that is, not too shabby at all. At the very least, he is a rotational player right off the bat. This is someone that should play and should make an immediate impact. Zach Bowen to the Saints, great pickup, and the Saints had a really good draft overall. I mean, these are all great pickups in my opinion, but Josh Jones is certainly no exception. The Cardinals, who really, really need to improve on the offensive line, got a big tackle here in the 3rd round. Josh Jones fell to them, and this is, again, not an amazing athlete. We've talked about that in the past, but this is someone who just didn't get beat at Houston and was really, really good all week in Senior Bowl practices. And at the Senior Bowl, Josh Jones was the best offensive tackle there by all accounts. Josh Jones is a really, really good player, and it's going to be interesting to see if they plug and play him at right tackle. I know DJ Humphrey signed a big extension. It'd be interesting to see if they move him or keep him at left tackle. I know he has experience playing right tackle, so I wouldn't be overly shocked to see that, although you probably expect more of the rookie to move to right tackle, more so than someone that has been at left tackle now in the NFL for some time. It'll be interesting to see what happens there in Arizona, but the Cardinals have killed the offseason. They picked up DeAndre Hopkins for next to nothing. They brought in Josh Jones. They brought in a crazy defensive piece in Isaiah Simmons in the 1st round. I'm going to be talking about all these teams in my ranking and grading every team videos. Those are 2 separate videos. But Josh Jones, really, really good pickup in the 3rd. Cardinals, back-to-back great drafts, too. I mean, if you thought I could go another full video without talking about Xavier McKinney, you were mistaken. Obviously, I'm a Giants fan, but this is completely bias aside. Xavier McKinney was the last true 1st-round grade that I gave to any player in the draft. I had 18 of them that were true 1st-round grade, no question. And then I had from 19 to 29, I had 1st-rounders, but I have concerns and questions about some of those guys. But Xavier McKinney, I think, is a prospect really without any true flaws. He's someone that has been effective in multiple different scenarios and responsibilities. He can play in the box. He's extremely instinctive in that role. He's a really, really good tackler, and he can play over the top. Now, I think the one thing holding him back from maybe going a little bit higher was he ran 4.63, but he plays a whole lot faster on tape. This is a sideline-to-sideline guy where maybe he's not really your true single high, Earl Thomas center field type role, but Xavier McKinney can be that single high free safety in certain scenarios, even if he doesn't only do that. But this is someone who I think can make a living in the box and in a prototypical traditional strong safety role, coming up and making tackles. He is tremendous in that role. He is a really, really good player, and the Giants got a stud here in the second round. I mean, I can't believe he fell out of the first. Really, really good pickup. This was my perhaps biggest draft crush outside of the guys that I thought were going to go super high, like Isaiah Simmons, and obviously Chase Young is so amazing. But Patrick Queen I've been on for a while now, and this is a prospect who really, in my opinion, could do no wrong. He's someone that has played it, as that middle linebacker, the inside Mike linebacker, and been extremely effective in that role. He's a crazy good athlete, sideline to sideline range. I say that about a lot of these guys, but it's particularly true with him. His closing speed is incredible. He tackles well and is maybe the best zone coverage linebacker in the draft. Now, I consider Isaiah Simmons more to be a true safety. I think he can play the weak side linebacker, but I don't really think he's a true linebacker the way that a guy like Patrick Queen is. Queen is incredible. I think teams maybe were a little bit thrown off to take him a little bit higher just due to his inexperience at not only the position but as a starter at LSU. Only was a one-year starter, played running back before coming to LSU, so he's still kind of learning the position, but is extremely instinctive for someone that is still newer to the position. Patrick Queen is incredible, and he fell all the way to 28. I cannot believe that happened. I mean, I can because I had it in my mock draft, but also I'm surprised. I mean, Patrick Queen is just such an incredibly talented player, and the Ravens needed to improve their linebacking core, and somehow Queen fell to them at number 28. I mean, this was incredible for them. I think this was really good value for the spot here. Denzel Mims went at the end of the second round. This was kind of reminiscent of what happened to DK Metcalf a year ago, and this is a player that I think can play a similar impact as DK Metcalf did in his rookie season with the Seahawks. Now, he's dealing with a much worse quarterback in Sam Darnold. Russell Wilson's one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL, and it would be a big ask of Denzel Mims to put up DK Metcalf type numbers as a rookie with the Jets, but he's someone who has all the tools and all the capability of doing so. Incredibly large catch radius, really, really great athlete. The only real knock on him is that he wasn't really asked to do a whole lot as a route runner at Baylor. His route tree was somewhat limited, but based on his 3-cone, which was incredible 666, praise be to the Dark Lord, Denzel Mims showcased that he is extremely quick and has the quick feet and the ability to be agile and turn and maybe develop as a route runner, even despite not having that type of responsibility at Baylor. But Denzel Mims is someone that I like quite a bit. He's sure-handed. He can go up and get the football, and he has the potential to be a fantastic receiver for the Jets. So I think the Jets got a really, really good player here and someone that is a starting receiver for them almost immediately. I mean, Jamison Crowder is a slot receiver. Denzel Mims is your big prototype X on the outside. Big weapon for Sam Darnold to use and develop as a quarterback in his own right. All right, I know that running back is not a particularly valued position in the NFL today, but Ino Benjamin in the 7th round. Ino Benjamin in the 7th round. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. He was certainly one of the top running backs in this class, and there were a number of running backs who, in my opinion, are worse than him that went a whole heck of a lot higher. How did Ino Benjamin fall to the 7th round? This is someone that is going to play an impact, I think, out of the gate. I know that they have Kenyon Drake there. Ino Benjamin should play, and I'm not sure if he's going to play a whole lot, maybe less than 50 carries in his rookie season, but he's someone that I think will play a big role at some point down the line. For a 7th round pick, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Again, I don't really have much to say about this. It's unreal that he lasted till the 7th round. Cardinals continue to draft studs when they fall into their lap, and you guys got to tip your cap to them. Good job. And the last pick of this video is actually going to be a first-round pick. I know we have one other one on this list in Patrick Queen, but Jerry Jeudy went at number 15 of the Broncos. He was the second receiver off the board, and in my opinion, he was the best receiver in the class. I had him as my number 5 player in the entire draft, and yeah, I've been criticized in the past for overvaluing route running, but I think that's the most important trait other than hands for a receiver, is elite route running. And Jerry Jeudy is without question the best route runner in the draft. He is incredible in that role, and I think he can be someone that is super, super effective for the Broncos moving around the field. I think with Courtland Sutton as the X, he can be that prototypical Z receiver, move inside and even play in the slot. I think he did a lot of that. Well, I know he did a lot of that at Alabama. I think the stat was about 60% of the time he was in the slot, and he was super effective in that role. Jerry Jeudy is a crazy good route runner with elite potential after the catch to make you miss in space. He's got good hands. Occasionally concentration drops can get to him, but Jeudy is a great prospect. And for the Broncos getting him as a second receiver off the board and at number 15, I think this was a really, really solid pick. And now, this isn't a huge steal in comparison to a lot of the other players in this video, and I'm aware of that. But Jeudy, outside of the top 10 and at number 15, and the second receiver off the board, I had to throw this in there and tip my cap to Jerry Jeudy, who, in my opinion, is the best of a very, very strong receiver class. But that is going to do it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.
We'll fake it.